Hello everyone and welcome back to From Our Basement Gaming.
Hi everybody.
We are back with part 26 of our Spyro Year of the Dragon Let's Play.
That we are.
And I am so glad I noticed before we got deep into the video that the microphone was set up wrong initially.
Well, Spyro, look what I have here. It's a life-size space monkey action figure, complete with a fully operational laser.
Excuse me?
I'd love to let him out so you can play with him, but the sorceress seems to think he's a menace.
1,300 gems to free the monkey.
Oh my god. That's,
You've always
isn't
had a
that
weakness for
trafficking?
helping silly little creatures,
think.
haven't you, Spyro? Oh, well, I suppose there couldn't be any harm in letting him out.
Do you know no bounds? Does your greed know no bounds?
I don't think he does. I'm sorry, I confess I am not a fan of this dude.
Free! Thanks, Spyro! Ooh, say,
And by this dude I mean Moneybags Bear.
dance.
Right.
No. Well, it's your lucky day. Check this out.
Okay! I'll see if I can get the receipt from
Not
Mr.
much stamina, though.
Moneybags.
Too bad. I have a lot more ammo
And
left.
send it back to Build-A-Bear Workshop.
Anyway, I heard all about how you've been fighting the sorceress and her armies and kicking all that butt, and I just wanted to say, huzzah! Yippee! Woohoo! Wish I could stay, but my homeworld's been overrun by Rhinox since I've been
But
captured.
wait, if he
Haven't
had
seen
a
the sorceress killer, I'll be
gun?
giving her dancing lessons real
Why didn't
soon.
he
Know what I
use it
mean?
sooner?
You bet.
That's wrong.
Later.
I don't get this, honestly.
Like, he could have tried to figure out a way to, like, force Moneybags to give him the key so he could free himself.
Yeah.
Or free me if you value your life, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm just saving the game just to be safe.
Yeah, oh well, I don't quite understand.
I do not either.
But okay.
Let's visit his laboratory. We made more progress.
Yes,
As I double checked, we have 92 gems, so
we need 8.
pretty much.
You mean eggs, right?
Eggs, that's right.
What was
I
that?
thought
Did
you
you
meant.
see a Rhinoc? I thought I saw a Rhinoc. Ooh, take it from me, Spyro. Never spend a week in a cage. Next thing you know, your
lessons to
whole
live
island
by.
will be knee-deep in Rhinocs. Well, gotta go, Mr. Laser Blaster, and I have a whole lot of work to do.
Life lessons from Agent 9. Hey, you!
Agent 9, my favorite pupil. Welcome back to my island
Wow.
laboratory. I'm afraid
been a
Rhinox
while.
have taken over the
Yes,
whole
Professor
island.
SpongeBob.
Perhaps you could stop them before they destroy all my research.
So now we have a blaster.
Yeah. That's nice.
Oh, it'll be just like old times. Try shooting these dummies to get warmed up. But be careful.
Okay.
I think a Rhinoc might be hiding among them.
He kind of sounds like the mayor of Townsville in this.
Yeah. Powerpuff Girls. I can't do it. No.
That's okay.
That's alright.
The best I can do would be like, Powerpuff Girls!
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yes, he had a unique way of playing the mayor, and
Yeah.
he had that accent with as the old pathetic mayor of Townsville.
Yeah.
A vast number of Rhinocs are waiting to ambush us as soon as I lower this force field. I expect they'll keep coming until you shoot the red panic button next to the door where they come out.
Shoot the red panic button to let the rhinos in. Alright. This is pretty good.
Yeah. Never thought you'd have this kind of power
Yeah,
in the Spyro universe.
right. Not since it's fun being the penguin is...
Right.
Even Sheila the kangaroo is...
Fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a unique experience playing as other characters.
It is.
These indicators show that a bunch of Rhinocs are hiding behind the display screen. I'll switch on the view pedestal, and you shoot them as they
I
attack.
recommend using sniper mode. Oh, press triangle for sniper mode. Okay, so... save mode. Okay. Cool. Alright, got him.
Alright, good.
Ah. Oof!
Making progress.
That's 5. That's 6.
Yeah.
You cleared them out! Let's see what kind of shape the machine room is in. I have a feeling...
Some Pokemons.
I'm guessing the Super Mario RPG remake is out now.
I've heard.
I mean, as we're recording. Obviously, when this is uploaded, it's been out for a while.
Yeah, I think he might have gotten it for her planning to get it one way or another.
The remake? Oh, I wasn't sure.
Oh, well, also you, the viewer, listening to it.
Oh, you meant the viewers. Yeah,
Them too.
I'm sure. As for me, I don't know. I mean, I have the
Just
original,
as I
and
thought,
the original's
the machine
great.
room is overrun with birds.
I'm not crazy about the art style of the remake.
Yeah, I feel odd that they're depicting the Mario and company in chibi form.
Yeah. Honestly, the only one who looks good is Gino.
Yes.
And I think that's because we don't currently have a 3D model of Gino to go off
Nice
of.
work, Agent 9.
Right, well,
Other than the one that was just made, you know.
yep. Beulah.
Yo.
I guess the Super NES game wouldn't count as a 3D model.
Now I can switch
I guess
the
I should say
gravitonometric generator back on.
polygonal
I hope
model,
the birds
question
got in
mark.
there.
Yeah. Or even a wireframe. Yeah.
Or wireframe, yeah. So I mean, I don't know, I mean, Mallow looks fine too, I guess, but the characters that we know and are familiar with in, like, modern 3D games just look weird.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Unpopular opinion, but I don't like the way Peach has been looking lately in games.
She looks squished.
She definitely looks squished in the RPG remake. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, looking at least the artwork that we have so far of the Princess Peach game,
Right.
I forgot what it was, Showtime or something.
Yes. Takarazuka,
Yeah.
actress Peach.
Yeah, I know, it does seem like Takarazuka, doesn't it? I feel like, and I could just be imagining it, but I feel like they made her look more like she looks in the
The lab's
movie.
clear, and it smells better in here already. Follow me
Like, I
outside,
almost feel
where
like
I expect
they-
we'll find...
Altered her face to look a little more like how her face looks in the Illumination movie,
Right.
and I don't like that. If that's what they're doing. Even if that's not what they're doing, I don't know, Peach just looks off to me for some reason.
Yeah. Like are they going more for like shoujo princess and Illumination cartoon somewhere in there?
Yeah, I kind of feel that way. And I know people were saying that in Wonder,
my
the artwork's
calculations,
kind of
the
different,
bombs
but
in this hand-
I haven't played Wonder yet to, like, notice if that's gonna look more like the Illumination movie or not. From what I can tell so far, probably not. Because, I mean, I don't know. Peach looked, for the most part, good in the movie, but I don't like the idea of changing the art style to make it closer to the movie. You know, like, I feel like the game should have its own art style that's separate from the movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I don't know if Nintendo's gonna decide to, like, streamline things and make it all kind of look the same for, like, ease of brand or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say, especially because I haven't really played Wonder. I gotta recover from Charles Martinet not being in it, because I seem to be taking that harder than most people.
I see. I fully understand.
Yeah, I mean, initially when I was hearing a lot of clips where he sounds close to Charles Martinet as Mario, it wasn't quite as bad. But lately I've heard some clips where he sounds like completely different, and I just don't like it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't like how he sounds as the completely different, so... Even when he's imitating Charles Martinet, he sounds off. I feel like he does best as Wario from what I've heard so far. I haven't heard much of him as Luigi, so I can't judge too much on Luigi, but that's just me. I mean, definitely better than having Chris Pratt and Charlie Day do the video games. But
It's me, Mario.
it's me, Luigi.
Yes.
Hey! I don't know. I'm not very good at Charlie Day. That was my very first attempt.
Oh, you did good.
Thanks.
I think.
I think he's funny in the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
But I don't... And I feel like... No offense, guys, if you happen to be in this group of people that I'm talking about, but I feel like a lot of people were excited about him being Luigi because they like him in that show. And they just like Charlie Day, so they were like, yay, it's Charlie Day as Luigi. I like Luigi, I like Charlie Day. And that's fine. It's fine if you feel that way. I'm not going to, criticize you for it, but I don't share that sentiment. I care about, how well someone does the character.
Right.
And yes, I know that technically there were multiple interpretations of Mario and Luigi, but the fact is, Chris Pratt and Charlie Day don't fit in any of the voices we know from before. They're like completely new interpretations.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know, it's just me, it's just my opinion. I'm very picky with voice acting.
I understand.
I have made people completely pissed off at me because of my voice acting opinions. Oh yeah, I don't do it on purpose. It's just that I've rubbed people the wrong way in the past because of...
Just a few more.
I'm just very particular. And there's no problem with that. It's not like I'm busy saying, you have no talent, you have no talent, you have no talent, you know.
Right.
I'm not doing that. It's just some of these people don't match my preference.
Right.
You know, the people who are being hired are talented, for the most part. I've come across a few that aren't, but most of them are. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
they just don't meet my preference. Like, that just happens to be how I feel about a lot of English dubbed anime, for example.
Yes.
Which, by the way, that right there, guys, is usually where I get people pissed off at me. Because when I say, oh, I don't watch anime in English, I don't care for it English dubbed, I just happen to like the Japanese voices better, that tends to really get under people's skin. Because I think they draw the conclusion that I'm saying that English dubbed anime voice actors aren't talented, which could not be further from the truth.
They're talented in a different way, but
Yeah.
their talent is wasted on
Thank you
heavily
very
altered
much for saving my
storylines.
laboratory. Now I can
Rudy
resume
Giuliani
thinking.
is the next president of the United States.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot that goes into it that, you know,
Ryan.
oh, cute. You know, when I was a kid, and even as a teenager, I was a little more unaware. I was unaware of. And maybe back then I put a lot of it on the voice actors, but it really is also a huge chunk of it is the producers and the creative directors and the ADR directors, and there's just so many different people that take part into like choosing which lines actually go into the final script. I mean, which reads, and yeah, some of it, that's the other side. I'm glad you mentioned that. The other side is sometimes, and they've gotten a little bit better with it, but a lot of times they will like completely alter the script to make it make more sense in their eyes, to make it make more sense to the American viewers.
Yes, with the jokes that they decided for that version of the show. Their version of the show.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I mean, yeah, not all the time, but a lot of the time, people who watch anime are interested in Japanese culture too, and probably know a thing or two about Japanese culture. But I think they assume right away, well, we have to make this approachable to someone who knows nothing about Japanese culture, which I can understand. But for me personally, I just like the script to be as close to its original self as possible. And then, like, you know, you could either include cultural notes or figure out a way to, like, teach them. Yeah.
That would be a smart thing to do, because then you're drawing conclusions that weren't really there and don't really add up to. You're assuming that would make exact sense with American culture to Japanese culture, but the reality is not all those jokes land when you do that, considering I don't think comparing Bill Clinton to the Prime Minister before Koizumi, who insisted that the Emperor still had divine power, was a fair comparison. You're comparing to an old fuddy-dud to a guy who had too much fun in the Oval Office.
So, you know, since Connor keeps referencing this, I'm going to go ahead and explain this because I'm sure some of our viewers feel really alienated right now.
Sorry, everyone.
Basically, Connor is specifically referencing, you know, with all these, like, political people he's name dropping, he's specifically referencing the Funimation dub of Shin-Chan, the Cran Shin-Chan.
And ADV's Azumanga Daioh.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, this is interesting.
I didn't know that because I don't watch Ozymandias.
I did.
Yeah, so, okay, that too. But the very first thing he mentioned was Cran Shin-chan's dub, which is one of those rare cases where Funimation just completely changed the script.
Yes. I don't think Georgie was a registered Republican.
And you know, here's the weird thing about that. We always talk about the infamous one, Ghost Stories.
Yeah, I've heard about this Ghost Stories that people talk about.
And I think the major reason for that is Ghost Stories didn't really have a script. They like threw the script out the window. And
They probably did.
No, they did.
Okay, they did.
I learned, I've heard from multiple sources.
They did throw the script out.
Yeah, I mean, not literally, but they translated it. They're like, wow, this is a bunch of crap. So they...
Too bad for...
So they just told the voice actors, just make stuff up, you know. So they just improvised. And that's why it's so infamous. But
Poor Ghost Stories.
I think in the case of Cran Shin-chan, they just rewrote a lot of the script to make it jokes about American society because they were like, nobody's gonna get this in America.
Not to mention, yeah, they aged up the humor.
That too. They made it, I'm sure, I guess they might have had a feeling that it was going to end up on Adult Swim, so they just decided to make the humor very adult.
Naughty boys.
I mean, it just makes me sad because...
Yeah, it is.
Well, in Japan, anyway, it is a very child-friendly show.
Yeah.
So it was very awkward because I wasn't fully aware of this, by the way. But I had my suspicions because the Shin-chan DVDs here, they're one of the few DVDs of an anime that doesn't have the Japanese language track on it.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, which you're right away like, oh no, red flags. Because really the only other DVDs that do that are anything for kids touched that Funimation didn't salvage. So like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, you cannot get... Tell me if I'm wrong, guys, but as far as I know, you can't get the original Japanese of either of those two in the United States.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, sadly. I hope you could, because I kind of want to see the original idea that went into the anime that would become Yu-Gi-Oh!
But what I've seen is no, you can't, because I haven't seen any in any stores. I heard one guy say, oh yeah, you can buy the original Japanese now, but he might have just been referring to like the only 2 DVDs we got of Yu-Gi-Oh! Uncut that have the Japanese language track on it. But they didn't finish doing that. They literally dropped that.
Naughty.
But anyway, yeah, so... Anyway, about Shin-chan. So when I went over, and I didn't know that it was actually a child-friendly show, because, you know, I'm used to the opposite happening. And then, like, what was it? I guess he was, like, 10, like the 10-year-old son. No.
I thought Shin was 5.
I'm not talking about Shin.
Oh!
So the grandson of my host mother, he was actually 7, at the time, 7. So, I found out that he was a fan of Shin-chan, like a 7-year-old, and I was like, wait a minute. And then I realized it is actually a kid's show, which I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Now, interestingly enough, I had recently found out that the manga is actually that the mother is the main character of the manga.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
it's Mitzi's story.
Yeah, which kind of makes some scenes make a lot more sense. Because there are a lot of scenes in episodes where, like, she's trying to have, like, a normal adult friendship with other parents, and, like, her kids keep getting in the way.
So that's the drama.
Yeah.
And the humor.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, the struggles of the average Japanese housewife type of thing.
So it's about essentially a 30-something Japanese woman wanting to have the 30-something grown-up life, but it's thwarted by her being the mother of her toddler, but predominantly from her 5-year-old son, who is immature, silly, and
the bad influence for the baby sister.
Yes, with a bunch of toilet humor and stuff.
And then the husband, who's a salary man who goes out drinking a lot and is barely there. Yeah, so but anyway, yeah, I know we spent a long time talking about this, but yeah, anyway, that was
If you just calm down.
long story short, that also contributed to a lot of my problems with dubbed anime. I mean, we gave you 2 extreme examples.
Yes.
But there are obviously more subtle examples. I mean, 4Kids is a big example. They will change the story a lot.
Yes.
But even Funimation, where, you know, you trust them to give you the original story, sometimes they will change certain lines. And my opinion, my honest opinion, is that doing that changes the characters fundamentally, and it can change your whole perspective of the story.
It does.
You know, I remember role-playing with people online and wondering how the heck they had such weird interpretations of certain characters. And then I would watch the English dub of a few episodes of the show, and I'd be like, oh, this is why.
Yeah.
This is where they get this interpretation. And I'm like, this is completely different from my understanding because I watch it subbed. And sometimes they do good things, but arguably it's still changing the original story.
It is.
Like, we have the very, very bad thing that Toriyama did in Dragon Ball, and that is having a character that is a bad gay stereotype.
Okay, yes.
I won't go into it too much, but that was changed in the dub.
Yes, it was. I can vouch for that, considering I watched the dub on Cartoon Network.
And I talked to somebody. I had never seen the dub of Dragon Ball. Okay, so I thought this was common knowledge that everybody knew about this character, and this was like we just sweep it under the rug. We don't talk about it.
No, it's because we literally did not know that that's what Toriyama was going for originally.
Right, people who were only exposed to the dub and never read the manga, because the manga, as far as I know, didn't censor him. I could be wrong, but I think the translated manga did not. That's another issue, though. Manga does that. Manga localization will do that too. But anyway, that's something I'd have to research more. But yeah, so I only knew because I talked to someone online, and they got very upset with me because they had no idea, and it was kind of a shooting the messenger situation.
Oh boy.
I had no idea, they were unaware, and they got very mad. Well, this did happen. I know, none of us like to hear about the ugly side of a show we like, especially one that we might have watched in childhood.
Yes.
Which I think is the case with this guy that
he was like a kid.
lot of kids watched it. It was on Toonami.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of the uncut version of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, no, I'm talking Toonami.
Yeah.
And anyway, we're actually out of time, so after we're done shooting these dinosaurs with dynamite in their mouths, we will stop.
Yes, and it finally hit me what the guy's name was. Maury.
Oh.
So, no, I don't think Maury was at all like, Clinton. Ooh! You got me there. I gotta stay put.
And that will only make sense to people who know about Japanese politicians.
Yep. Sorry, ladies and gents.
Of which I am not.
That's okay. He kind of didn't really achieve much.
Well, there you have it, guys. Maury did not achieve much. You heard it from here.
Well,
on Spyro Year of the Dragon Let's Play video.
Sorry, ladies and gents.
Politics.
Yes.
Okay.
Happy winter solstice, and
we'll see you guys
see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.